Sit back and get ready to have the most fun you ever had with an electronic device.
All right, everybody, welcome out to the Get On With It Sports Show. It is Wednesday, November the 16th, 2022. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is none other than Mr. RadioPete and Mr. Harry Lug Nutz. Say hello, gentlemen.
Howdy.
How are you on this?
And the bugle corps begin.
How are you on this fine trombone evening?
I think I'm okay.
I'm tromboned out.
You are you?
We need to.
I can imagine that you're more tromboned out than anybody else on this show.
You know, they have this thing called soundproofing.
You know, here's the funny part. This, let me see. I want to get because it's really important to have all the dates exactly right. Sure. So I think it was Thursday or Friday, I believe it was. The kid says, "Hey, I need a mute for my trombone."
Okay. Yes, you do.
Now, we had one of those little cheap cardboard ones. It just looks like a triangle. You know, it's a triangular cone. And
sure.
But the cardboard thing that holds in the trombone keeps falling off. And it's a cheap piece of shit. But, you know, whatever. That's what you get, to start. So he goes, I need a mute. I need it for, he's playing in the county all-state orchestra. And they had their first rehearsal last week. They have another rehearsal tomorrow, and then Friday, and then Friday night's concert. He's like, I need a mute. I go, okay, for all state. Just, 4 days, 5 days, for wherever. Actually, it wasn't even Friday. It might have been Saturday or Sunday.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. He goes,
does this help you get better insurance rates? Is that what?
No.
A mute from
he
all
goes,
state.
I have to have it in order to play in the concert. We use it for part of the concert.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, great. And he also needs it for his weekends, his rehearsals at a youth orchestra on the weekend. He goes,
sure.
The conductor of the symphony, the wind symphony there, gets kind of mad because a lot of people don't have mutes. So I'm like, okay, great. You would think Long Island, being the mecca of the world that it is, I could find a couple of trombone mutes in a store nearby. Nope. No.
Not even a lot of guitar centers have them. You got to go to specific ones that actually carry orchestral instruments.
Well, we have those, but they don't have the mutes. But they can get them in the store, maybe in 3 days. Maybe.
Right.
But not the ones that I want, because I want to get him good ones. The kid wants to play trombone for a living, so I'm like, well, let's get him. A good mute, not the $200 mute, but a good mute. Not
something better than the cardboard.
Yeah.
Right.
So no, like 6 different stores, none of them. There's a place in Jersey where we bought the horn. I'm like, I'm not driving to Dillon's to buy you mutes. So Sweetwater Music came to the rescue.
Mm-hmm.
And I told the kid he owes me
Sweetwater out of Atlanta, Georgia,
for the $40 for the extra shipping. Now, why is this so funny? You say because he's got mutes. But he's not using them.
He's not using
them.
Well, he doesn't need them at home. He needs them for the practice and the practices and the concert.
Right.
On Friday.
He
doesn't need them at home.
It's so he could go.
We wouldn't have our background music. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, he knows that. He goes, I could use a wah. He goes, I could use a wah-wah mute. So I went in the bathroom. I grabbed the plunger.
Sure, there you go.
I'm like, here you go, kid.
All the top podcasts have random music playing in the background.
Exactly.
I think so.
Yeah. Whenever I think of
one of the many things that makes us different.
Right. Whenever I think of one of those cup mutes, that go over like the trombone, well, the trumpets particularly, is I think back to The Odd Couple when they had the band and the one guy was playing the horn and they had
T for two,
for
me.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, cocktails for two. Yeah, right. Sure.
Foreshadowing next week's top 10 list, but we'll leave it at that.
Oh yeah, there we go.
There you go. All right.
So anyway, the ironic comedy is he has 2 different mutes now, but he's not using either one of them.
There you go. Fair enough. All right. Cool. Well, What's going on? There's no baseball anymore. There's a little bit of free agency. Going on. So we really don't have to talk about it.
Hopefully there's a lot of free agency going on. We just haven't heard about it.
No. Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of free agency going on, but no big news on it yet, right?
Yeah. Yankees overpay Anthony Rizzo for 2 to 3 more
That's
years.
about it. That's really about it. So
are we going to see the Yankees don't pay Aaron Judge for any more years?
I don't think so. I think you're going to see a lot of back and forth. It's going to linger on for several weeks, and then all of a sudden, Aaron Judge is going to get his contract from the Yankees.
I hope you're right. I think a lot of people assume that. I want obviously Judge to stay. For the most part. I don't think he's signing with the Yankees. I think he's going elsewhere, and I don't know where that is. His comments towards the end of the year, unless he's a really grade A actor, he chose his words very carefully, and there was a lot of past tense.
It's been great here.
It's been great. I'm sorry I could not bring a championship. That doesn't sound like something you say if you're going to re-sign with the same team.
Not it is great here. It's been great here.
And it's been multiple times where he said that. Look,
he may. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, I think this is just everything the Yankees have sort of said publicly so far since the postseason has been the exact opposite of what they needed to do in order to get the word out there that I think they already know that he's gone, because they're not being effusive in their desire to keep him. When the first thing you hear from the owner of the team is that, Aaron Boone's safe, then you know things are a problem. And everything that all the remarks that Brian Cashman has made have not been. It just proves it digs a deeper hole for where the Yankees and Cashman are going and their pull within free agency. To be honest with you, if the Yankees know that they are not going to get Aaron Boone, then they should be backing up trucks of money for Trey Turner. They should have not signed Anthony Rizzo and used that money to go out. I mean, you got DJ LeMahieu. He could play first base. Is he going to hit as many home runs? No, but he's also not going to strike out as much, and he's going to have the highest on base percentage on the team.
But that's not really their way anymore. They don't spend truckloads of money on anybody.
Because nobody is it because nobody wants to play there, or are they just going to go after guys past their prime?
I think it's a different philosophy. Yeah.
Well, what was the comment that I believe I heard, and I remember hearing it, like I heard it half listening to it today, but I believe I heard there was a comment made by Hal Steinbrenner saying the days of spending boatloads of cash to guarantee a championship are over. The playing field has leveled with the level of competition has leveled to the point where you can spend a lot of money and it's going to get you further maybe than but incrementally further. It's not going to guarantee you a World Series championship. So apparently that's his philosophy. So here's my thing on Aaron Judge really quick, and then really just want to throw it out there. I honestly think he's going to stay in New York. And when I say that, I mean with the Yankees. I'm not saying it tongue in cheek or anything. I don't think he's going to wind up on the Mets, although I would love to see him on the Mets, right, as a Met fan. But I don't think he's going to wind up on the Mets, and I'll tell you why. If he's going to stay in New York, he's staying on the Yankees, because they're going to give him – how much less money are the Yankees going to give him over the Mets? You know what I mean? That's number one, average annual value, whatever you want to call it. Plus, the Yankees are going to give him the captain spot. That's going to happen if he stays, right? I think if he is going to leave, he's not jumping from the Bronx to Queens. He's going home. He's going to San Francisco. That's my thought. I think he's going to stay in the Bronx, but if he doesn't, he's on the Giants. That's my take. Period. So
look, and if he does, which part of me kind of hopes he does. I like him as a person. I think he's a great player when he's on the field. He hasn't shown up in October yet.
No.
And he hasn't won a championship. And I'm not blaming him for that, but the expectations are pretty high if you're a Yankees fan. It's and I do think that this year I thought he was incredibly professional, graceful and about as good as you can be in today's realm of professional athletes in how he conducted himself. He's a great spokesperson, not only for the Yankees, but for the sport. And seeing him in New York would be nice because, let's face it, New York doesn't really have very many top-notch sports stars right now that are of a high caliber. We're known for those who are the opposite.
Hey, we got Jalen Brunson. Come on.
Yeah, okay. I was talking to the other idiots on the other side of the river. But if they do keep Aaron Judge, then they really have to make some tough decisions. And I think I talked about this a couple weeks ago. If they keep talking about all these prospects, they've been talking about these prospects for 10 years. So they've got to be in their mid-20s now, at least. So get them on the field or go out and get the best possible players you can get. Because if you told me if I could see the Yankees with a Carlos Rodon in the starting lineup and a Trey Turner playing shortstop in lieu of Aaron Judge, I'll take it. Mm-hmm. I'll take it. It's just Aaron Judge alone is not going to win a championship for this team. And yeah, they were hurt. They were missing a bunch of their top players going into the playoffs. However, still don't think they're better than the Astros, and that's who you got to beat.
Now, on that note, I think honestly at this point, if Rodon and Turner, separately obviously, both come to New York, I think it's more likely, not impossible the other way, but more likely that Rodon is pitching for the Mets and Trey Turner is playing third base for the Mets. That's just my...
Well, because the Yankees have gone on record as saying they're not in the market for a big name shortstop, which I don't understand. And so what are we holding out for? There's nothing I saw this year. If Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is your default shortstop because none of these other guys can play better than him, then I have not been proven that these magical prospects, Anthony Volpe or one of the Oswalda, whatever the fuck their names
they want an entire team of Oswalds.
Yeah. And if it's because we're going to hold on to Gleyber Torres to play second base, then that's another mistake. The Yankees' entire infield, with the exception of the person who plays every position other than shortstop, can go. Mm-hmm. Oh, that was the other thing. Josh Donaldson is our third baseman next year. Done deal.
Done deal. Third baseman. Yeah, that's right. Third base is solidified for you, so you're good. So second.
So we have a 45-year-old at first base, okay, who granted had a decent year. A guy who can't hit a beach ball with a wiffle ball bat at third base. I'm sorry, is overrated defensively.
Can he hit a wiffle ball with a beach ball bat?
No, he can't do either. He can't hit anything.
There you go.
And we don't know who the shortstop is, and we're stuck with Gleyber Torres, the second best second baseman on the Yankees, starting at second base.
Okay.
Discuss.
So if you're Aaron Judge, why would you want to stay here?
Well, I still think does Aaron. Does he care about?
I know he.
I don't know.
I know he wants to. I know he wants to be a Yankee, but yes, are you? If you're Aaron Judge, are you going to go? Well, look, if we'd been healthy, we would have had a better chance. But the whole nobody hit. Right.
I think the Yankees outfield looks if they re-sign Benintendi, which is I think they have him for to see a free agent. I can't remember.
I think he's a free agent. Yeah. I'll look.
I mean, Hader Judge.
I'll be Jimmy tonight.
Hader Judge Benintendi is a great outfield. The Yankees starting pitching was top 3 in Major League Baseball. And if it wasn't for Valdez on the Astros, the Yankees might have been in the World Series. I mean, Cole was just as good as Verlander. And of course,
he's a free agent. He only signed a 1-year deal with the Royals.
I don't think you can say if it wasn't for Valdez, they might have been in the World Series. Well, how many games did they win?
Well, he beat him twice, and he shut him down.
Yeah,
Juan Valdez,
but they didn't win any other games either. I don't know. I'm Aaron Judge, I'm going.
Their starting pitching was right there with the best in the league.
Okay,
and that's
what the two guys that are running the show, the coach and the GM, are still the same guys.
Yeah, because they think that Frankie Montas is an equivalent to Martinez. That they're settling for second best. They think that Anthony Rizzo is a good consolation prize instead of Freddie Freeman.
Maybe he's a constellation prize. Maybe that's the difference.
Well,
Maybe
he
they
better be some sort of
If
consolation.
I'm Aaron Judge,
It's
I'm
written in
going
the stars.
somewhere else. I love the Yankees, but I'm
It's right
done
in
with
there.
them because I don't think they're gonna.
But he's not gonna have a better chance in San Francisco.
There you go. Andrew Benintendi is a free agent. He only signed a 1-year deal with the Royals last year, so for $8.5 million. So
That's pretty good.
the pundits are expecting him to draw a 4-year, $70 million contract.
So he'll still be cheaper than Anthony Rizzo.
Oh yeah, because you saw that's 17.
Benintendi's going to get 4 for 70. They're saying
4 for 70.
Well, he hit 300.
So that's $17.5 million a year.
Gets on base and he could catch the ball. I mean, that was the Yankees' problem. Again, all these prospects that they're starting in left field, they can't catch a fly ball.
he was pretty lousy with the Yankees hitting though, wasn't he? Or did he just have a
He
slump
caught on
when he
and
got
then
here?
he got hurt. He caught on and then he got hurt.
He was
Okay.
he a couple weeks in he was rolling and then he got hurt. So
Look, regardless, I mean, I think you got to. The outfield's not the problem for the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're going to have to deal with Aaron Hicks. They're probably going to have to let him go. If you got to stick Stanton in left field 40% of the time, that's fine. Make him earn his money.
But now do you really want an outfield that 40% of the time is going to be, and no offense to Aaron Judge by any means, but you want those two big lumbering guys on your corners in your outfield?
Yeah, because I think Judge is maybe the best defensive right fielder.
No, he's great. I'm just saying, but
I think Hader's
the possibilities of the injuries is my point.
No.
You know, I mean,
That's
you
everybody.
think he's that's
everybody.
but you think he's beyond that? I'm specifically talking about Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
You think he's beyond that?
No.
He's not going to.
That's my problem with Judge.
He may not have another season that he's quote unquote healthy for
Right.
more than
That's my
100
problem
games.
with Judge.
Or,
He's Saquon Barkley,
by the way, guys,
and him and Barkley are having good years again.
7-Eleven
Yes.
wants to wish us all happy coffee days.
Happy coffee days.
Now, when did
Isn't that cute?
Christmas is already here? By the way, I keep saying
Oh yeah,
Christmas.
lights are going
Christmas.
up. at the mall.
Christmas starts on October 15th. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, Halloween. I saw a meme. I was going to put it up, but I forgot to grab it. But it was a meme. There was 3 cars, right? There was a witch driving a car in the right lane, in her lane. There was a turkey driving a car and just starting to creep into the witch's lane. And then it was Santa Claus driving a car in the left lane, cutting across all 3 lanes. So I thought that was pretty
That
cute.
sounds about right.
Yeah.
Next year I want to do Halloween decorations, but all the things that you have hanging up or whatever, I want to be like Halloween evil Santas.
Mm-hmm.
My whole house done up, and then I'll just leave it that way
right
until January.
So you're good, right? This is Dunkin' Donuts. This is Dunkin' Donuts holiday cup. It's just
By the way, you guys drink horrible coffee.
that's it right there.
Well,
So, I was passing a Dunkin' Donuts on the way back.
I don't like coffee. I
guys-
like sugar and
No.
You guys
cream.
don't really have coffee shops out there.
No. We got a great one around the corner. First of all, the one down by the ocean you had when you were
Down by the ocean.
Did you not like that coffee?
It was okay.
It was all right, but there's an even better one
Better than
up
Dunkin'
over
Donuts.
here. Yeah, there's an even better one up over here. So you haven't had that one. So, but in any event, all right.
Coffee's always better down
Anyway.
by the ocean.
At least
It's,
there's a little-
coffee's
only a
always
little
better over
praise.
here than it is over there. So anyway, really quick on the Mets. Congrats to Buck Showalter for Manager of the Year, NL Manager of the Year. So that was very nice. Expected. I did believe that was going to happen, so it wasn't a shock when that happened. But congrats to Buck. And we'll see what happens with Nimmo and DeGrom. Hey, who knows? Nimmo might end up in center field for the Yankees. You never know.
Yeah, I mean that's
did he
the
really
kind of
deserve
dumb
it, though?
move the Yankees would make.
Did
Can
Buck
you just
Showalter really
send me-
deserve to be
send me
manager of the
Marte?
year? Though?
I think so. I mean, based on look at what the other
weren't
teams that won.
expectations for the Mets pretty high already.
Yeah, but look at what they had done in years past, and Buck actually put them together, and they were on pace early on. I mean, before they kind of lost.
Okay,
in
but they
September.
ended up crapping out and not winning the division and having to play a wild card.
Mhm.
I mean, again,
Right, but
the majority of it
that
on the
in
players.
this day and age, that should be a good thing, right? In this
Don't you
day and
think
age,
Rob Thompson
it's
deserves
better
the
than
Manager of the
taking
Year?
5 days off.
I mean, don't you
You
think
know?
Rob Thompson deserved Manager of the Year?
Why would you say that?
Because he took a team in the middle, that started out horribly and took them to the World Series.
I got to be honest with you.
What the Phillies did is
it's
much
hard.
more impressive.
I will admit it's impressive, but the manager of the year is not about the playoffs. It's about the regular season. And granted, he got Philly to the playoffs, but they were the 6th seed, right? And it stops there. Whatever he did beyond that has no bearing on manager of the year.
That's too bad.
If it did, he probably would have gotten manager of the year. But it doesn't. It stops at game 162.
Okay, but heading into the season, the Phillies were much more of a shit team than the Mets were.
Yeah, but
the Mets had the 2 best pitchers in baseball.
I don't know about that. The Phillies on paper, the Phillies had a better team.
No. On paper, the Mets had a much better team. The Mets had the second best team on paper, other than the Dodgers.
Hello. They had a much better team on paper than they had on the field. I'm not comparing them to the Mets. Joe Girardi did not get anything out of them. Rob Thomas, I was going to say. Rob Thompson did.
But and they were in a fucking hole when he took over.
Right, but my point is
they were like 6-18 or some shit like that.
Right, but they
ended up winning 87 games.
Right. No, I agree with you. It was there, and you could have gone either way, and either side would not have been a bad vote. But my point is that on paper, if they had a shit team, if they had a team that was supposed to finish last in the National League East and not even come close to the playoffs, and he got them there even coming in midseason, and he got them to the 6th seed in the playoffs, he absolutely hands down would have won.
Well, they're
on paper they had a better team, right? On paper he had a better team. Well,
they were the 3rd best team in their division,
right? But the division was the best division in baseball, so that's why they were.
Was it better than the American League East?
Yeah, I think so this year. Yeah. I mean, the beginning of the season anyway, right? Just based on you got to look at the paper, but look, it's irrelevant. I agree with you. He deserved it, but so did Buck. And again, the sample size was bigger for Buck, and it stops at game 162. It has no bearing. The playoffs have no bearing on the voting.
Well, if that's the case, then I change my vote, and Dave Roberts is one, and Buck,
Yeah, but the Dodgers are there every year. What are you just going to give it to Dave Roberts every year?
What if he underperformed? There's plenty of people who do that all the time.
Yeah, I suppose.
How many games did the Dodgers win? 114 or something like that?
173.
Yeah.
They won 11 more games than one.
They clinched the playoff spot in like May.
Well,
they gave him 11 wins from next season, right?
Right. Yeah. They've already got an 11-0 record for next year before even.
Yeah.
Right. So, anyway. All right, let's get on with it. See what I did there? Anyway.
Yeah, did they announce AL Manager of the Year?
They did. Who was it? Crap. I was about to look on my phone.
I mean, if it's not, is it Terry Francona?
It is Terry Francona. Terry Francona. Yes, it is.
I mean, look, I think they should consider the postseason. I mean, if there's ever was a year where Dusty Baker did, I actually think Dusty Baker did a hell of a job, even in the regular season, with the Astros.
But it has a lot to do with what you're given to as a manager. I mean, and not that obviously Buck had a crappy team to deal with. He had he had a good team. The best, like you said, the best 1-2 punch in baseball. But with that best 1-2 punch in baseball, one of them was there for less than half a season. The other one was there for a little bit more than half a season, and he still won 101 games.
All right. So besides the Dodgers, which team had greater expectations in the National League? No one.
The Mets' expectations were up to nowhere near the Dodgers, but they were up there. The Braves too.
It's because of the talent that they had.
Because of the talent, right?
So,
but Buck had a lot to do with those expectations.
It's going to be the Mets and the Dodgers fighting out for the National League pennant.
But Buck had a lot to do with those expectations.
That was the preseason prediction.
Right. If Luis Rojas, and no offense to Luis Rojas, but if Luis Rojas was still the manager with all the players that Buck had, they would not have been predicted as
well. Yeah, of course. That goes without saying. It's like it's just
gets the award because he's better than Rojas.
Well,
that's that's a two-step ladder.
He's better than most too. I mean, you got to look at all this.
I agree. Look, I love Buck Showalter. I'm glad he's the manager. I'm just saying he was given an awful lot, and I felt like where they ended up at the end of the regular season was not where they should have been.
No, if they won one or two other games, they would have won the National League East, right? They honestly, if they won one specific game, one other game against Atlanta that last weekend, they win the National League East. That's it. They were one. They finished tied with Atlanta, but Atlanta had the tiebreaker by one game. So if they won one game against Atlanta,
even if they'd done that, I would still be on the fence about it because
I think
they were and how they collapsed and even got to that point to where that was a possibility. It was. But technically,
they tied for the regular season. They tied the reigning World Series champions for the division. So I mean, look, we can talk about it all night. I think
that's a consolation.
I think by voting the American League is Brandon Hyde.
All right, fair enough. I think he's deserving of it. I think he was deserving of it, but there were other people that were too.
The Guardians were not a complete surprise. The Orioles were.
Yeah.
He improved 31 games on a team that has no talent. I mean, they have some good young players, obviously, but they have on paper, they were the basement dwellers, in the American League East by far. They almost made the playoffs.
That's true.
The Orioles.
I know. Moving on to another award really quick. It was announced a half an hour ago. The Cy Young Award winners for this year.
Do
you know? Either of you know?
Can I guess?
You can guess. Go ahead. Go for it.
In the American League, it's got to be Justin Verlander.
It's Justin Verlander, yes.
It's the kid from Miami.
No, the guy from Sandy Alcantara, whatever you say his name.
Yeah,
Alcantara.
Yeah, either him or the guy on the Dodgers, whose name is escaping me right now.
It is Sandy Alcantara.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I think well deserved. I mean, talk about a team that has nothing.
Yeah.
What was his record?
Sandy Alcantara's record was regular season. He was 14-9 with a 2.28 ERA.
Yeah.
So his career regular season stats is 34-43.
Well, he's on the Marlins. It's the ERA that's impressive.
Yeah, 2.2.
Yeah.
Yeah. 32 starts, 14-9. So he had 9 no decisions. So there you go.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And on the American League side, Justin Verlander went 18-4 with a 1.75 ERA.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
At 65.
63
and a half.
That's 63 and
actually turns 66 next week. So.
Right, exactly. And you watch, he's going to wind up in Queens next year too.
You think?
Yeah.
Alcantara or Justin Verlander?
No, Justin Verlander.
Where he'll begin his decline into mediocrity by the middle of April.
Right. Well, if they do something about run support, then maybe he won't. But short of that.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good pitchers in the National League. I thought Kyle Wright should have had a shot. Gonsolin is who I was thinking of.
Gonsolin,
right? He was very impressive.
2.14 ERA, 16-1. 16-1.
16-1. All right.
Yeah, that's only two extra wins though on a team that won. How many games did the Marlins win versus how many games?
Oh, I understand that, but the fact that he's 16-1 with a 2.something ERA, 2.18 ERA,
most certainly impressive. I'm not arguing with you on that.
Gotcha.
I like the underdogs who perform. You could go 14-9, but it's the fucking Marlins. They're terrible.
All right, let's switch up to football. What do you think?
All right.
Thought we were talking about football.
All right. Well, first things first. No more undefeated teams.
No.
Yeah, Philly lost to the Commandos on Monday, and Larry Zonka is happy once again.
Yeah, fuck those assholes.
Look.
Wait, which assholes are you talking about?
The Miami dickheads who celebrate every year when
even when they were 8-0. Did either of you guys really think the Eagles were the best team in the NFC?
Mm-mm.
No.
The Saints are, of course.
I don't know who is. I mean, that's.
But let me piggyback on that.
It's a toss-up.
Did you think that might?
Honestly, right now, I think it's the Vikings.
They might go undefeated in the regular season anyway, even without being the best team. That was entirely a possibility.
No, I never thought they would.
I never thought they were going to go 17
either, but
no way.
And you sort of saw this one. I mean, even I was like, it's always the unexpected one that they lose.
Well, I mean, the blueprint is there for the Giants too, especially when the Giants play the Eagles in East Rutherford. Just give the ball to Saquon every down. I mean, just let him rack up 300 yards rushing, and they'll win the game.
And they're not gonna. He's not gonna rush. Rack up 300 yards against the Eagles.
Well, the run defense kind of sucks right now.
Yeah, I mean, is there a worse 7-1 or 7-2 team? Look, I give the Giants credit for learning how to win.
Yeah,
that's a tough thing. And not blowing games that they very easily could have in years past.
It's all about winning a game, right? That's what it boils down to. And I'll tell you, I mean, I was at the game on Sunday against the Texans, and I watched a lot of other things going on the field that, not every down, mind you, but a lot of other things that were happening on the field and the sidelines and everything else. And, to the best of what I could figure from where I was sitting, obviously, my vantage point, there was a lot more going on than you see on TV, right? I mean, they looked like I'm not going to say they look like a playoff team or a championship team by any means, but they look like a team, and they haven't looked like a team in many years. You know what I mean? They look like
they're not atrocious. They're not atrocious.
Right. So they looked like they at least knew where they were and had some idea of what to do, But in any event, the worst thing that happened, two things that I was not happy with sitting there. And I'm sure you've watched the game. You can concur with this. First of all, Kenny Golladay, he just needs to just go away. Take your money. Here's your check. Go. Bye. Get out of here. Those two, one pass was still catchable. It was a little far, but I mean, somebody that's getting paid over $20 million a year should be able to catch that ball. All right. And that second one, I could have caught that one. I could have caught that second pass. All right. And I'm not exaggerating. It was right there. I could have caught that pass.
A lot of drop balls in the NFL this year. A lot of easy drops.
He is
I think you should give yourself. You're not giving yourself enough credit, John. I think you're a pretty good pass catcher.
That's true.
You're saying I could have caught that as if, throwing it a block of ice and the ice could have. No, I think you're better than that. I think you're definitely better than Galladay. That's the question.
I'm not making the money.
You're no Joey Galloway.
I'm no Joey Galloway.
The Giants are winning with absolutely
nothing.
The most minimal passing game. They don't have a receiver in the top 50 in the NFL.
No, they don't. Darius Slayton looked decent. I mean, it was 4 targets. He caught 3 of them. For one of them for a touchdown, and he went 99 yards or 95 yards or 99, almost just shy of 100 yards on 3 catches. I mean, one of them was that 50-something yards, 54 yards.
The Tennessee Titans of the NFC.
I guess you could say that.
Yeah. But look, Saquon Barkley's leading. I think he's leading the league.
He's the leading. Right? Saquon Barkley is the league leader right now in rushing. Yeah. He had 152 yards this past Sunday.
I'm sure Derrick Henry's close to him, and Nick Chubb, and whoever else.
Derrick Henry is 9 or 10 yards behind him.
Okay, so they have a defense that kind of, on paper, statistically is good, but not great. They seem to bend, not break, and they control the ball.
Right. That was the other thing that I didn't like was that, and we're talking about the Texans here. And granted, the Texans are, no matter what their record is, no matter whether the worst team in the league, which they are by record or whatever, but they're still an NFL team, right? They still can play football. But the one thing I didn't like,
a true Giants fan.
The one thing that I didn't like to see was that they were nickel and dime in the Giants defense with screen passes all day long. They marched right down the field with screen passes. Where the hell was the defender that was on that guy, on the receiver catching the screen pass? Where did he go? How was he able to break it for 10, 15, 20 yards every time they threw a screen pass to him? And we're not even talking about slants or passes in the flat or whatever. We're talking about an actual physical screen pass. Like, take the snap, turn, throw, 15 yards. Where is the defender? But to their credit, when they got down in the red zone, they either stopped them or took the ball away. I would have liked to have seen that back in midfield, but whatever. I guess you can't have everything, right?
Giants and Jets are 9th and 10th in the league in points per game allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this doesn't automatically mean success, but the Bills are number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay is number 3. The 49ers are number 4. I mean, you know the list of culprits here. The Eagles and Titans are just ahead of the Giants by percentage points. They're all giving up about 18 points a game.
Right.
So that bodes well.
Right.
You know, they're not even in the top 15 in yards allowed, but they're maintaining. You know, if you could keep somebody under 20 points a game, you got a chance to win a game.
Right.
Which is what they have to do because they're not going to score more than that.
Right. Well, let's look at a couple of stats here really quick. I'm going to throw this up really quick. Daniel Jones had a 153.3 passer rating versus the Texans this past Sunday. That's currently the highest rating for any quarterback in any game this year. 153.3. So just wanted to point
not bad.
It's not bad. And
what's his average for the rest of the season, though?
He's got 5 game-winning drives this season so far, and that's the most in the NFL. So now I'm not saying
he hands the ball off really well.
He makes a couple of good passes. There's more drop passes than his just complete misses either, too. So
his completion percentage is very high. My point being is the Giants do not, thank God, pass the ball too often.
Fair enough. But on the defense, as we just talked about, all right, most single game pressures by a player over 320 pounds. Pro Football Focus is great with the stats. Most single game pressures by a player over 320 pounds in the Pro Football Focus era since 2006. The Giants, Dexter Lawrence, this past week, 9. So there you go. And the number 2 was Dexter Lawrence at 8 in week 4. So there you go. Just wanted to point that out to you.
Okay.
So what do you think about that? Not about Daniel Jones. I'm talking about Dexter Lawrence. What do you think about Dexter Lawrence?
He had a great week.
Yeah. The whatchamacallit, the high had a great week. Short and sweet. Done. Of the top 9 defensive performances this past weekend around the whole league, of the top 9, there were 9 different players, obviously, in the top 9, right? 2 of them were on the Giants. It was Dexter Lawrence and what's his face? Big Cat.
Don't know.
Come on, he's your guy, Pete. He was on the Jets.
Washington, Williams, Quentin Williams. The other Williams.
Leonard Williams.
That's it.
Leonard Williams, yeah. So anyway, the 2 of them, those Giants were the only team that had 2 players in the top defensive
rushing and defense.
That's it.
Daniel Jones has 237 pass attempts. Carson Wentz has 232. Carson Wentz has played 3 less games than Daniel Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Jones is behind. The only starting quarterback that has less attempts is Marcus Mariota.
Well, here's the thing, though. Look at that again. All right, look at that for a second. Pull that list back up if they got in front of you.
It's a
how
good
many?
thing.
How many? And I know Tannehill was out for a while, but if you got to add together Tannehill and whoever the kid was that went in there for Tannehill,
same thing. I'm saying.
When you have the number 1 rusher in the running back in the entire league, you don't need to throw more than 200.
Well, and what do Ryan Tannehill and Daniel Jones have in common?
They're both running back,
mediocre at best on a great day quarterbacks.
Right.
So this is good coaching. This is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't, his quarterback rating is great because he's not turning the ball over and he's not being asked to throw the ball 30 times a game,
right,
which is what I've been saying forever.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 1 less attempt than Jimmy Garoppolo, who's played 1 less game.
Mm-hmm.
That's how little Daniel Jones is passing the ball.
There you go. All right. Fair enough. All right. Jets. They did not lose this week.
They did not.
No. And why is that?
They did not play.
There you go. All right. But here's the thing about the Jets, and I know both of you know this. If they win because the Bills lost, And even with Miami's shellacking of, what did they play? The Browns, I believe. Whatchamacallit? If the Jets somehow beat New England this coming Sunday, they will be in first place in the AFC East.
Yes, everybody knows that.
Yeah, people are actually talking about them and mentioning the word playoffs. Playoffs in the same breath.
Playoffs,
which is very interesting. Look, the Jets are a great story, right?
Sure,
great story. Young quarterback, second-year quarterback.
Even more surprising than the Giants, I think.
I think they are too.
I'm not. We're seeing some progress from Zach Wilson. We will see. We've seen a few steps forward and a few steps back.
Well, Zach Wilson, that's the same thing. But I mean, he had a good passing game 2 weeks ago. But I mean, he basically when he had the week
before that. But
when
last week he was perfect.
Right. Yeah. He had Bryce Hall in there before he got hurt. It was the same kind of deal as Daniel Jones. You're handing it off, right? You're handing it off more. So
it's a little bit of a different team now. Right? They lost number one running back.
Jets defense is.
It's the defense that this team is all about. The defense, which is great because they can be tough, not give up a lot of points, and give the offense time to work and give the offense time to grow.
Right.
Good young head coach who seems to have, everybody's buying into it, right?
Right.
And you have some success, it's easy to buy into, right?
Exactly.
Even if they had 2 less wins, you'd still be thrilled for this team.
This is true.
So listen, they might get to 8 wins.
I think they could be on that.
I don't think they're going on a big run, but
no.
There's sort of.
They got 6 wins now, right? I think they can wind up with 9 or 10 wins.
If the Jets can force New England to pass the ball more than they want to, they can win this game.
Yeah.
Because the Jets are a little porous on the run game. But I like their pass defense. And I like the fact that they're athletic and they're starting to create some turnovers. And I like that. I think the Jets are going to win this week. I don't know why everybody's doubting the Jets' ability to beat New England.
You know why the Jets' pass defense is so good, right?
How you doing, Joe Douglas?
Hey, man.
I'm going to turn you over to Coach Sala.
Hey, yell it.
This should just be the opening.
Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Family.
All 3 of the voices featured in that are getting the job done. Yeah, I have to say that.
They are. They are.
Good draft pick. Good draft pick by the Jets.
A good draft, pretty much overall. Wilson's looking good. The receiver. And this is just a good young team built on defense.
Yep.
You cannot be not happy if you're a Jets fan.
Good things to come.
Yeah.
So let's look at the power rankings thus far, as put forth by CBS Sports.
CBS.
All right. A little small here, but it's just because of the justification of this graphic. They have. I'm just going to go through the top. I'm going to get to 15. We'll do 15.
Top 32.
I'm just going to go through the top 32. So, they have Kansas City. Tell me your thoughts. I'll read them off. Tell me your thoughts. Kansas City number 1 at 7-2. The Eagles at number 2, 8-1, 8-1, right? Yeah. The Vikings at number 3, Dolphins 4, Bills 5, Ravens 6, Titans 7, Cowboys 8, 49ers 9, Bengals 10, Giants 11, Seahawks 12, Patriots 13, Jets 14. Now, I want to get down to the Jets. I'm looking, and I get it, right? I get it that the Giants and the Jets are playing with house money, right? I get it. But I'm looking at the standings, right? I'm looking at the records: 7-2, 8-1, 8-1, 7-2, 6-3, 6-3, 6-3, 6-3, 5-4, 5-4, up through 10 with the Bengals, and then the Giants 7-2. They're down at 11. Look, I get it. They're not supposed to be there, right? But they're still not getting the respect.
I think this is about right.
As a Giants fan, I'm fine with them not getting the respect. I always want the Giants to be. I hate it when everybody's all in on the Giants because that's when they lose.
Yeah, it's almost better to be. Yeah, they're 7-2, but because that's when you get to surprise people, right?
Right.
As opposed to, oh, they're legit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you're
right.
That's because you don't want.
The Jets beat the Bills. I don't know how they're lower than the Giants. Actually, I don't know how they're actually lower than Seattle, New England.
Yeah, how do they
England.
Well, you know as well as I do because they're the Jets.
Yeah, but look, I don't. I could argue maybe the Giants could be maybe somewhere between 11 and 9.
I would put them at 9. Honestly, I put them at 9.
I don't think they're better than the 49ers. You could argue maybe they've been a little bit more consistent than the Bengals right now. The team that's up there, that number 8, that's 6-3, that I question, I think is not as good as the 49ers or the Bengals, is Dallas.
Yeah.
So,
the number 8 team, Dallas, was just beaten by the number 18 team. So
yeah, none of this really matters because
it's just somebody sitting in an office making a graphic. That's all it really was. But yeah. So we'll obviously continue to see how the season plays out. I got a couple.
The Jets and Giants are going to really have to shit the bed to not make the playoffs.
And stranger things have happened, but we'll see what happens with them. I think, before the season started, what did I said 9 and 8. I think they'll go beyond that. I think they can win 10 games. I think they'll win another 3.
I mean,
maybe more, but I think they can win another 3.
Look, here's
I think look, all they have to do is beat the Lions, which they should be able to do this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Win, beat the Colts because they can beat the Colts, and I believe it's a home game for them too. And win one of the Washington games, and they get to 10 wins. Yep. They can lose every other game, and they get to 10 wins.
And they may very well.
Yeah. That's all I have to do.
Jets obviously have New England here.
Anything else is house money, and they're 11 wins or 12 wins. But all they have to do is win those 3 games, win the home game against the Commandos.
I don't know. Commanders are on the way up.
Yeah, but not the Commanders' home game. The Giants' home game. When the Giants win at home against Washington, beat the Colts and beat the Lions, and they're at 10 wins.
Well,
every other game.
Washington might be ready to crash because Carson Wentz
is coming back. Yeah,
maybe coming back.
But he might. There's no guarantee he's going to play.
I don't think they have it announced yet.
No. What's his name said today that there's no guarantee that Carson Wentz is the starting quarterback.
Of course not. Well, you know what though? I mean, the fact that Taylor Heineken beat the Eagles this past Monday. Mm-hmm. There's no reason why he shouldn't leave him in there until he shits the bed, and then you move Carson Wentz back in, and then all that.
There's a lot of good teams with mediocre quarterbacks.
So, well, we'll see how they go. Speaking of mediocre teams,
I didn't say mediocre teams. I said there's a lot of good teams with mediocre quarterbacks.
And I said, speaking of mediocre teams,
mm-hmm.
Let me throw this up really quick. Okay. Every week, the NFL should just hire a guy off the couch to see if they can beat Josh McDaniels. There you go.
I think it's the visor. Like it's the dumbest. It's the dumbest hat choice anybody can make, unless you're Martina Navratilova or you're playing golf on the women's circuit. You should not be wearing a visor.
Hold on. Are you telling me that Josh McDaniels isn't Martina Navratilova?
No, he's not as tough.
Okay. Well,
does Sean McVay wear a visor?
Who cares? Yeah, exactly.
So maybe there's something to that.
Yeah. Telling you, the visor is just bad luck.
Do you think that's
the dumbest? Look at it. It just screams douchebag. There's nothing that screams douchebag more than a visor.
Sorry. It's like you can't make a decision.
Right.
It's just dumb.
Wear a hat or don't wear a hat.
Right.
It's a hat.
You're gonna do
the whole hat or none of the hat.
Either you're going to do your hair or you're not going to do your hair.
Do you think
it's not like he's in the desert.
Right.
And
no.
It's 90 degrees and he needs to, protect his head.
No, he's not
doing anyway.
He's not working on antique clocks. He's Josh McDaniel.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think that Belichick gave him that advice? Wear visor. Wear the visor. You're going to be good.
He's always worn the visor.
If you want to win, you got to wear a visor.
Exactly.
Well, I've never seen Belichick wear a visor.
A lot of success. I didn't start winning till I wore the visor
Exactly.
and the hoodie.
And the hoodie.
It's just
All right.
remember Tom Landry?
Oh yeah.
Every time I see some of these
Oh, yeah.
coaches now, I just think of Tom Landry.
Suit and a cowboy hat. By the way, just so you know,
Oh, and
in the show notes,
Fedora. Yeah.
in the show
Fedora,
notes,
yeah.
the fedora, yeah. In the show notes, I just typed the time and the antique clocks comment because I want to use it for show open, right? I typed CLOCKS, and autocorrect took the L out.
Mm-hmm.
So
Antique Cox.
it says antique cocks. Yes.
Probably not working on antique cocks either.
No. They're playing like a bunch of antique cocks.
Although
Exactly.
that's probably when you might want a visor. If you're
You might
doing
want
that
to
kind of work, you might want a visor.
I think you want a full head protection if you're
Yeah,
working on
definitely.
antique cocks.
And
I
face
think you want a
shield.
hard hat.
Like a welder's helmet.
You want a hard hat.
And a
right,
hard
exactly.
hat.
And a hard hat, right, exactly.
Some very long gloves.
Exactly. All right. On that note, one more meme I got for you guys, and that's it for the memes today. Jimmy Garoppolo, regular and postseason. Jimmy Garoppolo has a 10-2 record in starts where he doesn't throw any touchdown passes.
Yeah. Again, there are a lot of good teams in this league with mediocre quarterbacks.
All right. That's good.
So maybe that, you know what? Maybe that should be one of these weeks. We should do our like top 5 game managers in the NFL.
Or a team that has the greatest discrepancy between how good the team is and how shitty the quarterback is.
Yeah.
Like
That'll
that's a great. That's a hard one. That's a hard.
Yeah,
that's a hard question. Do not
I
forget
don't
the
want
Minnesota Vikings are. What are
Yeah, I
they?
don't want
8-1?
that. I'd have to put some thought into that. I want
Yes.
to just be able to pick and choose.
Who is more Kirk Cousins than Kirk Cousins? This is the annual Kirk Cousins,
Kirk Cousins Award. There you go. I like that. Write that down. Or annual. I got to write
top
that down.
5 Kirk Cousins is in the NFL.
Annual
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins Award.
I mean, I feel like at least once a week I hear somebody on ESPN say, I just don't trust Ryan Tannehill. And all of a sudden, every year, Tennessee's, 7-3, 9-2, whatever the case might be. It's just like,
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Well,
Gotta
listen,
love it.
Kirk Cousins is no Ryan Tannehill.
No.
There are a lot of quarterbacks that aren't, and he's definitely not.
We laughed when Michael Irvin said Kirk Cousins is going to win the MVP award. Let me let you know a little secret. Kirk Cousins is probably in the top 6 or 7 in MVP right now.
Yep.
Right now. Fair enough. All right. Should we do some bean by the coin? What do you think?
Yes, please.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
I think I'm 0-12 in the last 2 weeks.
No, you've been all right. I've been all right. Pete's been on fire lately.
Yeah, a lot of dogs, a lot of crazy dog picks.
The
There you
guards are changing.
All righty, let's get it going. Here we go.
By the coin.
I'm sure I'll lose to the coin.
No one wants to be beaten by the coin.
There it is.
All right. As I said, the guards are changing. This is a very interesting season as far as our picks go. We're still close, as we always are.
Sure.
But I think there's been more movement up and down last couple of years. John, of course, has won, and we've been chasing him, Harry and I have, for much of the season. I think we've all led at 1 or 2 points this season, and
What's the tally right now, Pete?
things have changed again in this past week. Yours truly back on top by a game at 35-20 after a 4-2 week. Harry, you're just 1 game back after going 3-3. John, you went 4-2, but you were a couple games back, so you're a game behind Harry.
Thought I was 4-2.
No, you were 3-3.
Nope, 3-3. You lost with Vegas, the Rams. You got to stop picking the Rams, dude.
I didn't pick Vegas.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
You did.
Well, we'll go back and check the.
I'm looking at it right now.
There you go.
Harry.
So, let's see. You're so much better at this than Jimmy. That guy's terrible. He never looks anything up. Well, anyway, so
so
either you're 1 game back or you and I are tied. John and I both have you picking.
What week was this? Was this the? I took the Bucks, the Vikings, the Colts, the Rams, the 49ers, and the Eagles.
All right, let's see. We're gonna have to.
Still pulling it up. Give me a second here.
All right,
it's right here in the text. Bucks, Vikings, Colts, Rams, 49ers, Eagles.
Really?
Yep. Bucks, Vikings, Colts, Rams, 49ers, Eagles. It's right there.
How did John and I both get it wrong?
I don't know. It's right in the text.
I'm still pulling it up. Here we go. I got it.
The coin picked Las Vegas.
Harry, Bucks, Vikings, Colts, Rams, 49ers, Eagles. Yep.
I went 4-2.
All right, there we go.
All right. So
we have to go back and check the other weeks. I feel like.
So you and Harry, you're tied. And I'm 2 games back.
This is a third party.
So Harry, you were tied, and I'm 2 games back.
I'm gonna go Carrie Lake on you all.
We're conspiring against you to win the fucking
a game here, a game there. You'll never know.
Yeah, you'll never notice.
Yeah,
he never knows who he picks anyway.
I demand a recount on all these games.
Well, you can go through the text file and look it up. Do your own research.
Right.
So Harry and I tied. John, you're 2 games back. The coin going 3-3. A respectable 1 game under 500. I think the coin is much better than it was last year.
I believe
let's keep an eye on this tabulations, folks.
All right.
All right.
You at home, play along, keeping track. There you go.
Yeah.
Very interesting. All right. So
beaten by the fraud.
Beaten by the frauds. This week we have Tennessee visiting Green Bay. Green Bay coming off a big win. Tennessee, their usual selves. John, who do you like here?
Packers.
John likes Green Bay. Harry?
I don't know. Who did I pick? I think I picked Tennessee.
I think you picked Vegas.
I picked Vegas.
You picked Vegas.
Tennessee. I think. Tennessee. I think again, they have an adequate quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think 1 game means Green Bay is all the way back, although it was certainly impressive.
Tennessee's, what are they, 7-3?
Yeah.
This is a game that could go either way. If they were playing in Tennessee, well, of course. But if they were playing for me, it could.
I agree with you.
If they were playing in Tennessee, I'd be picking Tennessee.
It does make it a harder pick in Green Bay. Yeah. This is a toss up, by the way. All of these, by the way, we are purposely picking tough games every week.
Yes.
So,
what Harry and Peter both telling you is that in the years past, when I won both years, they were relatively easy games. That's what they're telling you. So.
But we all were picking relatively easy.
Well, it wasn't relatively easy.
I'm kidding.
No, it's just we were picking the Jets and the Giants every week.
Jets, Giants, and the night games.
If you just picked how many games did the Giants win last year? 5?
4.
4, and the Jets won
4.
3.
4.
4.
3.
4.
So if we had just picked against them every single week, regardless of who they were playing, you would have been at a 75% click, with those two teams. So,
and I think, if I remember correctly, we got about 80% of the wins for the Jets and Giants correct last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I think we were good that way. All right, so Green Bay, Tennessee, and the coin likes Green Bay.
Green Bay. There you go. All right, so me and the coin.
All right. Next up, the Jets visiting the New England Patriots. Tough loss to the Patriots. Just about 3 weeks ago, I think it was.
Yeah, they screwed me. They screwed me on that one.
Yeah, they did. I, of course, picked New England because they are the Jets. But again, this is a little bit different of a Jets team, and
this is in New England, right?
Yes, this is in New England. But I think Gang Green is hot, and I'm going to ride the wave with them. So I'm taking the Jets. Taking the Jets to win.
Well, Jets.
John, who do you like?
I am also going to pick those green guys. Little Jets action there.
This is bad news for the Jets. I'm also going to take the Jets. Look,
which means New England's winning.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I like the Jets. I think this is a playoff team. I think they're going to go in and they're going to win this game.
They have the ability, definitely.
Two very similar teams, by the way. Two very similar teams. I think
are.
the Jets have better playmakers on the defensive side of the ball. And I think that's going to be the difference. I think
I like the Jets defense better.
I think there's going to be a couple turnovers in this game, and it's going to be low scoring, but a couple turnovers. And hopefully the Jets can get the running game going again without their best running back.
All right. Let's see what the coin says. The coin likes New England.
There you go.
Oh,
By the way, I think the coin is picking at a higher clip than it ever has before.
Yeah.
That's one game under 500.
Yeah.
At this point in the season, it's very good. All right, so coin on an island with New England.
Could be manager of the year if they keep this up.
Think so?
That would be George Washington would be the manager.
There you
go. See what I did there?
I see what you did.
All right. Harry's favorite team to lose with, the L.A. Rams.
I know.
Hosted by New Orleans.
They have baffled me all year long.
Now, be advised.
Half the Rams are out.
I'll have you pick this one first, Harry, because you love the Rams. And
I'm not going with the Rams. And from what I understand, half the Rams are out, including maybe for the better of the Rams, Matthew Stafford might not be playing.
Stafford's out, Cup's out.
Yeah.
I don't know if Stafford's out. He's
questionable.
They said today that he's expected to clear the concussion protocol. Now, that doesn't mean he'll play, but
even though I think New Orleans is not a good team, I think the Rams are a pretty fucking horrible team, and I'm not gonna put my faith in them anymore. So I'm taking the Saints.
All right, John.
Saints.
I was also originally going to pick the Saints, but I am changing my pick to the Rams.
Yeah.
Because
they usually do you well. It's the Chargers that screw you.
The Chargers,
it's the Rams that screw me.
They're my Achilles heel. But here's the thing. Also news today, speaking of quarterbacks, about New Orleans, Jameis Winston most likely or possibly, probably not going to play the rest of this year. Although he can practice and sort of be, they said, the understudy. But it looks like Andy Dalton is going to start for New Orleans. And I
started last week for him.
He started 7 weeks, and he sucks.
Yeah.
And so I think the Rams are going to eke this one out. So I'm going to take the Rams.
Yeah, you might be right on this one.
And it's who's worse. This is a game of who's worse, right? Yeah. They're both 3 and whatever, I think.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
The Rams are a disappointment, though, without a doubt. Big disappointment.
Yeah. And the coin likes the Rams. Mm-hmm. So the coin is with me.
This is a tough one. This is a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough one. So so we're split on that. There we go. All right, Detroit visiting them New York Giants, the 7 and whatever Giants.
7-2.
They should just call them the Barclays. The New York Barclays.
New York Barclays. Sure.
The Tennessee Titans of the NFC East.
Yeah. So you guys are Giant fans. John, why don't you pick this one?
The New York Giants will win.
The New York Giants will win.
It's
Harry?
not going to be easy. I will make that right now.
Well,
they're not going to run away with it. Yeah. They never let it be easy, but they will be victorious in this one.
I think the Giants will win. They better win. God,
they got to win.
They
I'm taking Detroit.
Yeah,
I know they're bad. They're in a little bit of a role, though. I don't know if Dan Campbell is going to be their coach for many more years, but
he'll be their coach for this game, though.
Yes, he will be their coach, and I think they're
as far as we know.
I think they're starting to buy in a little bit.
They did question if they could get in. They could get Jeff Saturday in a trade, but
yes,
right.
But they want him at center.
Instead, they got Wednesday Adams.
They got Wednesday Adams.
And look, Detroit's got 3 wins. When's the last time Detroit had 3 wins?
4 years ago. 48.
I don't know. Yeah, something like that. So I'm gonna take the Lions, and the coin likes the home team. Going with the Giants. So I'm on an island with that one. All right. Las Vegas visiting Harry's buddies, the Denver Broncos. I'm taking Vegas. That's all I'm going to say. Somebody has to.
Yeah. I am again not taking Vegas. I'm taking the Broncos. Did everybody hear that? I am not taking Vegas. Look, the Broncos defense is going to shut Vegas down. I think this Vegas team is just a mess. And look, the Broncos aren't much better, but
I think
the Raiders won out at home.
The Raiders look an awful lot like the Broncos did when Josh McDaniels was coaching them. But
exactly, the Broncos look an awful lot like the Broncos did when Josh McDaniels was coaching them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Broncos as well. The Raiders are I seriously doubt the Raiders will win another game this year.
I wouldn't say that, but
it will be difficult for them to win another one or two this year. So they will.
Right.
They will go well under 500 the rest of the
This is also a garbage bowl toss-up.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, so Denver, L.A., and yours truly taking L.A. And the coin?
LV.
That's the home team.
There you go.
Taking the Broncos. So I'm on another island.
Who did
what?
Who did the coin pick for the Rams Saints game, by the way? I missed that.
They took coin is with me taking the Rams.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's the difference for me. I don't care about winning this thing. I don't.
Well, you're getting good results on some dogs. You're picking some good dogs.
I'm going to go with my instinct and try not to be so cerebral like I normally am. I'm going to stop with all the research.
That's right.
And just go with the. I got more down here than I've got up here, so I might as well, go with
use
the
it. Use it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Your irrationality is paying dividends.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, this is the year for that, right? When have we had, in recent memory, a more fucked up season in the NFL than this one?
Fair enough.
There's a lot of parity. A lot of parity.
The defending Super Bowl champ is playing a garbage bowl, right? Against a team that's been a perennial almost, right? And getting screwed a couple times on calls that kept them out of the bowl of the championship game. We've got teams that were good, that like great teams, traditionally great teams that suck. You've got teams that nobody thought would be any good because they're the Jets and the Giants,
right?
Maybe leading their divisions respectively. This is a crazy season, so I'm picking that way too.
There you go.
All right, Dallas at Minnesota. I'm the Dallas fan. I'm taking the Cowboys. I think I'm wrong on this, but I'm taking the Cowboys anyway because they're my team.
There you go.
I don't think I've shown him a whole lot of love this season, and Prime was kind of giving me some crap the other day. We were talking.
He did. I heard that.
It was
he called me afterwards.
And Amazon Prime you were talking to.
Yeah, we were making arrangements.
You were wondering why your card declined.
Making arrangements for our post Christmas weekend get together, and he was like, "You got to give more love to the boys." And I said, "All right, fine."
Fair enough.
So I'm taking Dallas. Harry, who do you like? I think you're taking Minnesota. And
look, will Minnesota have a letdown? I don't think so. I think this Vikings team, I think they're pretty good. Dare I say, they might be the best team in the NFC. Now, this is a big test, big win, maybe the game of the century against the Bills. But I think they hold serve and beat the Cowboys.
Okay.
In Minnesota. It's in Minnesota.
It's in Minnesota.
Yeah, in Minnesota.
I will concur. I think the Vikings win this game. I'm taking the Vikings. I mean, after that, OBJ-like catch from Justin Jefferson.
It's even beyond OBJ.
And it was beyond, because it was like it was in the defender's hands. He's like, nope, that's mine. The Vikings are winning this game.
All right.
I still haven't wrapped my head around that game.
No.
Let's see what the coin says. Coin likes Minnesota.
There you go.
Well, there we go. I'm on an island thrice this week.
Yes, you are. All right.
Not good, but the coin is. No, the coin's with me. No, they're not.
Well, that's how you make. That's how you get ahead when you're on an island.
Or how you give away the lead.
6-1.
All right, last up.
Just change a couple of my picks and you'll be fine.
Yeah, well, what do you think I've been doing?
Yeah.
You'll never know.
You're
like Joe Kennedy and I'm Chicago.
You're actually 41-12. All right, San Francisco visiting Arizona. I'm riding high on San Francisco, so I'm going to take the Niners. Harry?
Yeah, I like the Niners. This is a team that, God, they've got a lot of talent, and they're inconsistent. And I could see them coming in here and shitting the bed and giving one up to Arizona. I just don't think Arizona's got a lot of fight left in them. And I think the 49ers can, if they can win this game, they can start to pad a little bit of a lead there in that division, and that's going to bode well for them.
Sure.
John?
49ers.
Yeah, I think a couple weeks ago, I think they're getting ready to go on a run. They have gotten healthy. If they stay healthy, that I think that inconsistency that you're talking about, and I agree with you on that point, is going to be replaced by cohesiveness.
They were inconsistent 2 weeks ago.
Well,
they're inconsistently cohesive
as they play together a little bit. As everybody again stays healthy, hopefully they play together. They're going to get better. And
Look,
better.
they're a team like a lot of these other teams that we're talking about. It has a great defense. They can't fall behind by too much. They've got a great running back now and a good running game, a decent offensive line, and some guys who can make some big plays here or there. There's a lot of teams like that are doing well this year. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough picking who is the best team with a quarterback who's nowhere as good as that team.
Yeah, but they have one of the better game managers under center, I think, in the league.
He's no Kirk Cousins.
He might be a Ryan Tannehill, though.
Look, Jimmy Garoppolo is the biggest anomaly in the history of quarterbacks in the NFL. And you can say what you want about him.
Better than he gets credit for, but
obviously. And what we're talking about is somebody who took their team to the NFC Championship game. And before training camp even started, it was determined that he was no longer the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. He stuck around, got healthy, and is now could very well win a Super Bowl this year. I mean, how would that look?
Yeah.
Then they will have a Super Bowl winning quarterback to trade to go to another team next year.
Well, nobody wants him. That's the problem.
But we're not going to trade him because we can't get enough for him. Nobody wants him badly enough. So he's got something to prove too.
If he does that, he will have to win the Jeff Hostetler Award.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, here we go. The coin. Coin likes Arizona. All right.
Is there a more confusing team than Arizona? I mean, last year we were talking about Kyler Murray as an MVP at the beginning of last year. I mean,
I think weren't we talking about that the first couple weeks of this year too?
Yeah. I mean, this team baffles me. They really baffle me.
Yeah.
I thought whenever what's his name? The receiver. Adams.
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams.
He didn't go to
the guy that was right. Didn't he? He was suspended. They're a big receiver, not Devontae Adams. I mean, it was a Devontae Adams. No, it's some other guy.
Are you talking about?
He got suspended.
Okay, this year?
Yeah, this year.
The Cardinals
suspended for Arizona.
Who was suspended for Arizona?
I don't know. Their top receiver.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Hopkins.
There we go.
DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah.
Hopkins came back, and they got another receiver back, and I thought, okay, well now
I didn't realize he was suspended. That got past me.
Yeah, he missed like the first 6 games or something. And
that's right.
Yeah. And
suspended before the season and missed the first 6 games.
Right.
Yeah, I was thinking during the season.
They came back, and I was like, oh, Kyler Murray's got a couple of new targets. One who's very, very good, right? And it just never materialized. So they're a bit of an enigma too.
There you go.
But the coin likes them this week against my Niners.
There you go.
Just kidding, Prime. Just kidding.
Hey. You're Niners. Hey, Prime played for the Niners too, so.
Yeah, but he's not really a Niner. So there we go.
There you go.
Right, I will adjust 35-20. Harry the Whiner. That's all of his wins. Jeez. Pathetic. There you go. Beaten by the coin.
That was the
7
longest
games this week.
That was the longest beaten by the coin segment we've done in a while.
Oh,
well, we have the most games, and a lot of them are.
I had to restart the music 3 times.
A lot of them are lousy games or games between lousy teams. Those are not always easy to pick.
This is true. All right. Very good. On that note, though, did want to say we forgot to talk about Jeff Saturday. Your thoughts on that? I
Well,
mean,
Good for him.
I mean, basically, the three of us had as much NFL coaching experience as he had before this past weekend.
yeah, the difference.
But we don't have anywhere close to the NFL playing experience.
and
that
the,
Jeff
and,
Saturday has.
and the difference is that how much does that really matter?
I suppose not, obviously. So
Because all the picks that everybody's making for head coaches, whether are guys who were not head coaches.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's all of these offensive coordinators who people think are going to come in and become these great head coaches. Now, I do think that there's some value to being a head coach. I think that it's a skill set that, yes, some coordinators can learn, but many, the vast majority, are not good at it.
Hmm.
They're really good at being a defensive coordinator or an offensive coordinator, but they're not good at necessarily being a head coach.
I will give you this, though. I will tell you this.
He is Indianapolis royalty. He's probably the fourth or fifth most recognizable player. And I do think that he is a football mind. And I think that in this particular situation, him coming into this, I don't think anything can go wrong because they're probably breaking it down to the bare bone minimum of saying, let's go out there and block and tackle and play the best game we possibly can.
Agreed. Well, this weekend will certainly prove whether or not he's really NFL ready as opposed to just playing the Raiders last week. They're playing the Eagles. Granted, they're playing in Indianapolis. Now, I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that they stand a chance of winning that game. But it depends on how much they lose by and how he coaches them through it. That's all. Like if the final score is 72-0, yeah, he probably wasn't ready, and he just got a good first game to coach. But
how is he any different than anybody else?
No, you're right. You're right.
What other coach is going to come in with 2 weeks and beat the Eagles on a team that had
here's the thing. I
3 wins.
I don't imagine, and I don't mean any disrespect to Jeff Saturday, because he obviously knows a lot of football, certainly more than
any of us do.
Whatever. He's got more to. Like, how much is he really affecting and changing things right now?
Okay.
Certainly last week, almost zero.
Right.
I don't think Jeff Saturday came in and goes, here's what we're going to do, and I've got all the plans, and I'm putting
No, he did. Because they had a new offensive coordinator, too. Didn't they?
No, everybody else stayed, I believe.
Everybody else is the same. So he came in, there was a lift in energy, and he said, okay, let's do what we do, but let's do it better. Now, this week, maybe he's going to, but I mean, he's not going to come in and rearrange all the furniture in 2 weeks. We're going to keep doing what we're doing, but we're going to do it better.
Right.
And then over time, probably by, again, some influence this week, but not a lot, to say, oh, this is Jeff Saturday's team now, and he's put his stamp on it. I don't think he has yet. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. It takes time, especially if you've never been a head coach. But there's definitely a lift in energy and drive. Frank Reich, I don't know if I thought he was well-liked by the players, but maybe not.
Yeah,
but he wasn't, either way, it wasn't happening on the field. So, but we will see. I think, give him the rest of this season and see what happens. See what the difference in the Colts is. Is there a measurable difference? Do they just play tougher? Do they just, play stronger? If he hasn't a big effect on the offensive line, that's certainly something he knows a lot about.
Sure.
So, I don't think it's fair to say he's going to put his stamp on this team against the Eagles, and we can decide whether he's got it or not. You got to give the guy way more time than that. This is the National Football League.
Right.
Even for a guy like him, it's tough.
And look, the Colts, statistically, are not nearly as bad a team as their record indicates. They're a fairly decent defensive team, especially against the pass. I think this is going to be a more even matchup than you think. I don't think the Colts are going to be able to put many points on the board. But I think the one big decision that Jeff Saturday made was saying, hey, look, Matt Ryan, I need you in there. And look, it's very simple. We got to protect our quarterback, and we got to run the ball. And they did both of those things. Again, it was against a Raiders team who likes to self-destruct and hurt themselves as much as their other team hurts them. And I don't think they're going to beat the Eagles. But I don't think it's going to be a blowout either.
Agreed. So, all right. That works. Do we have a are they for real?
We do have an Are They For Real?
We do we?
Do we have a theme?
Of course.
What is real?
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Pretty sure none of that's real.
You're not real.
For real, for real, for real. Yeah.
Are you for real? For real? For real? For real?
Are they for real?
What is real?
All right. You know what? We need an underbed.
Yeah, we do.
I got to work on that. Okay. All right. Are they for real? First up, I think they were on the list last time we did this, but I'm going to put them on again. As we may need to rename this segment. Will Harry change his mind? The Washington Commanders. Are they for real? Coming off a big win. And again, we are not sure who's going to play quarterback, so keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind, right? This is a weekly question.
It could be a weekly question, depending on who's starting under center for Washington. So, Harry, are they for real?
No.
Simple, to the point. I concur with Harry. No, they're not.
All right. I think they are.
Okay, fair enough.
I think they are. I think they'll be challenging the Giants for second place in the division. Yeah, by the end.
They're 3 games behind them.
Yeah, by the end of the season.
They'll be.
So you think the Commanders are going to get past the Cowboys and the Giants?
Yes.
Wow, big words. All right.
Yeah,
you heard it here first, folks.
I'm not putting any money on it, but
no.
All right.
Washington Commanders.
Also coming off a big win. But again, not necessarily completely foreshadowing things to come, but maybe. The Green Bay Packers. Are they for real? As in, are they back? Or did they just have a good game against a pretty good team?
Mm-hmm.
John?
I'm going to go with yes. They are for real as they can be this season. But yeah, no, they're are they back and going to win out and like compete in the playoffs? Probably not. But are they back? Are they for real? Are they going to start winning some games that they should be winning now? Yes.
Will they go above 500 the rest of the season? Let's say
yes.
Harry,
you mean they came back and beat a Dallas Cowboys team that hasn't won a Super Bowl in 28 years? If the Commanders aren't real after beating the Eagles, then no, Green Bay sucks. And they're going to be under 500 by the end of the year.
All right.
I tend to agree that they suck. I think this past week was more of an anomaly than anything else.
Fair enough.
They're not good. They're not
as I expected you to say because of the team they beat, but
yeah.
Right.
Well, even if it wasn't them, I would say the same thing. But what do they say? Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then.
My reasoning is that they had a lot of young players and they had to solidify them. They had to play.
They could be coalescing. You're right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going with that.
Right.
And I don't think this was a switch flipped. I'm not saying they're going to win this weekend, but
they're going to be better than they have.
But actually, I did before say they were going to win tomorrow, but that's besides the point. But
yes, you did.
But
so if you said no, they're not for real, but they're going to be Tennessee, then we would be checking you for
right, exactly. So I had to go there, right? Exactly. So, but yeah, I think they're heading in the right direction. How's that? But anyway,
all right. I like that. Okay, let's switch to the NBA for a brief moment.
Sure.
And I will ask you: are they for real?
And they're spectacular.
10-4 Portland Trailblazers.
Blazers?
The Western Blazers.
Blazers.
Portland Trail Blazers.
I wonder
the Western Conference.
I wonder what website Pete was on before.
The Portland Trail Brazzers.
Actually,
one of my only
I've heard.
One of my OnlyFans partners is Brazzers.
Brazzers, yeah, exactly.
So are they for real? Are the Blazers for real, or are they just off to a good start?
Who first?
Harry.
Yeah, I mean, any team with healthy Damian Lillard, I think, is for real. I think Anthony Simmons is, having a the addition of Jeremy Grant. Nurkic is a fine center. Yeah, I think they're for real. I think that they're going to be there. Do I think they're going to win that division? I don't know, but they'll be around, and
they'll be around. All right.
Like a lot of teams that have had a good start, they're balanced. They're balanced. They know who their stars are. They've got good wing shooting, and guys who are playing a little bit of defense, and they're long, and they rebound and play good defense. And Lillard's healthy. And when Lillard's healthy, he's one of the best players in the NBA. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. There you go.
All right. John?
Yeah, for the same reason Harry just said, Damian Lillard. They are for real. Yeah. I mean, will they, like you just said, will they win the division? Maybe. I'm not going to put money on it that they will, but it's a good possibility. But are they for real? They can be for real and not win the division. So, yeah, they're for real.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, if you say Portland or the rest of the division to win it, you kind of have to take the rest of the division. There's too many good teams out there.
Sure.
But yeah, I think they're going to be around. So yeah, I think they're for real.
Look, they have 3 guys in their starting lineup averaging over 20 points a game.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's
what you need out in the West, right?
Absolutely. That's what, and it's balanced, and they're doing it efficiently. That's what I like about them. They're good complementary players. As much as I like CJ McCollum, it was too much of the same thing. I think Simmons and Grant really complement Lillard, and they're set. They're a little thin. But they're a good team.
All right. Moving to the National Hockey League, you might have heard they're playing.
I did hear that. I heard something about that.
Yes, the NHL is for real.
The NHL is for real. I am happy to ask this question. At 13-3 and 26 points heading into tonight's action, are the New Jersey Devils for real? Harry?
Yes.
They're good. They'll be around. Might not win the division.
They're going to be a playoff team this year.
All right. And hey, that's kind of what if you're a Devils fan, that's really all you're looking for. Can we just get in? Can we be one of the 48 teams that gets in out of 16?
For many years there, we were a championship team every year. Right. Or at least one of the top teams challenging for it.
We had our heyday, but it's been a while.
Right.
It's been a while.
It's not the early days where we were the Detroit Lions of the NHL, but we're for real.
Good to see. John, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't hate the Devils. Obviously, I'm a Rangers fan, but yeah, they're for real. They're for real. They'll be relevant all season. They'll be in the playoffs. They're for real.
Yeah, I think so too. I certainly hope so. Plus 21 in the goal differential.
Yeah.
Look, the Islanders are only 4 points behind the Devils.
That's true. It's true. I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park. I don't expect them to win. I mean, they're going to have to go through whatever controversy, whether it's injury or something. Every team has generally some sort of period during the season where.
Yeah. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. The Rangers started off slow last year too.
They did.
And I think Carolina. I mean, you could see Carolina, the Rangers jumping ahead of the Islanders and the Devils, and
Rangers have had a couple of tough games.
And at the end of the season, I think the Capitals will be there as well.
The Rangers have had a couple of tough games. That will change. They're too good a team to vanquish into mediocrity for the rest of the season. But I think all 3 New York teams are going to be right up there.
And don't forget, I think the Devils have won like 9 or 10 in a row.
10 in a row.
Which they're not going to do that. Probably not going to do that too many times. You know what I mean? Too many other times, if any other times during the season.
That's something you don't see very often in hockey.
No, not really.
No, you don't see a lot of 10 win.
And in fact, the closest team, other than the Devils, is the Bruins with 4 wins.
Sure,
4, yeah,
4 straight wins. Yeah,
yeah. That's not. I mean, I don't follow hockey all regularly through the season, but I usually keep an ear out. You don't really hear about too many. 8 or 9 or 10 game win streaks.
10-game win streak in hockey's big.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Huge. It's not big. It's
but
huge.
It could easily have been a 6-4 or a 7-3, which would still be impressive, but that they wouldn't be on top then.
10-0 is better.
Very true.
10-0 is better. All right, and finally, this is a no-brainer.
Pickleball.
The Northport High School field hockey team.
Oh, okay.
Northport High School. Is this Northport, Long Island?
Northport, Long Island.
This is Northport, Long Island, where my son goes to school. The field hockey team.
Is he on the field hockey team?
He is not. The field hockey team is made up of female players.
Well, nowadays anybody can be a female.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, I don't know. I guess they'd let anybody play. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, they just finished wrapping up their second consecutive undefeated season. They are 55-0.
55-0.
And they just finished successfully defending their New York State High School Field Hockey Championship. Back-to-back, 55-0 over the past 2 years. So, are they for real?
Absolutely.
You bet they are. And I only mention them because, this is the school district I'm in. It's not, I didn't grow up here, but it's where my kids went to school and close to where my wife went to school in one district over. And, I mean, that is a crazy good accomplishment.
Sure.
I don't know if anybody in Long Island or in the Northport area is watching or listening, but go Northport Field Hockey. Fantastic job. 2 straight state championships, undefeated in more than half a century's worth of games. So
very nice.
Yeah.
And if you're curious, my opinion, yeah, they're for real.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Definitely for real.
I figured.
And there you go. And I got
more of a shout out than a legitimate "Are they for real?" question.
Well, I got one.
I had to mention it.
On that note, I got one for you. The North Arlington, New Jersey high school varsity football team is 5-4 overall, 3-1 record in their league. They're second in their league. Harry, are they for real?
No.
Pete, are they for real?
No. I can't say they are.
Yeah. Other than being an alumni.
By the way, the Northport.
I have no
Northport
ties to that team. So anyway,
the record
Northport football team is playing for the county championship this Friday. So.
Very nice. Very nice.
The record for the most wins without a loss by a field hockey team is by the Watertown, Massachusetts high school team. 184 games without a loss. That record was broken in September of 2017. Wow. So 55-0 girls. How many, about 25, 26 games in a season? 27 games in a season?
Yeah.
So 6 or 7 more seasons of undefeatedness and you got the record.
Yeah. And I forget the team that they beat. It was something Syracuse. So it was an upstate team, and those people.
Syracuse Orangemen?
Well, it was a hyphenated team name. Something Syracuse. So
Oswego Syracuse?
It started with a P. I don't know what it was called. But
Ogie Oglethorpe played for Syracuse.
And they know their field hockey up there.
They do.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. 55 in a row is pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
There you go.
And that's our Are They For Real?
That's our Are They For Real? Just trying to figure out who it is here. Nope, can't find anything. Oh, well, sorry. Try to. With the P-Syracuse for you. So there you go.
I'm going to look it up here.
There you go. You look it up.
Window open.
There you go.
I'll let you know during some other segment that
if anybody's from a hyphenated Syracuse town, please
let us know right away.
Let us know.
If anybody's on the field hockey team that just lost the national or the state championship, give us a call.
Give us a call. Let us know. All right. A couple things and we'll wrap up the show. We talked some basketball. Let's really quick just mention that the Nets, while they did have lost their last 2 games, they have been playing seemingly better basketball since the departure of Steve Nash. So are they for real, Harry?
They have Kevin Durant. They'll always be for real.
There you go. Yeah. And
no,
there you go. Spoken like
below that team. Look, I like Jacques Vaughn a lot, and he's very self-effacing, and he's like, hey, Like, whatever. On the second choice, he made a joke about being his wife's second choice. Seems to have a good attitude.
And then they gave up 154 points last night.
Yeah, listen, they're still not whatever. They're not good. They should just. Bomani Jones said it best a couple weeks ago. Just waive Kyrie, send him packing, and trade Kevin Durant and start over.
Yeah.
This whole thing has been a failure. This whole experiment has been a failure. I know they almost got to the championship, but they didn't.
Well, you don't think that
now it's just a
you don't think that
swirling nightmare of despair. So clean house and start over.
You don't think that they could have a top four, if you will, with whatchamacallit, Durant, Irving, Simmons, and Curry?
Simmons sucks. Let's just call it what it is.
I don't know if you can count on.
All right, Patty Mills and Curry.
No,
look, I like Seth
Kevin
Curry,
Durant and everybody else.
I'll say this: this team would have been better off with the players they traded away for James Harden and Kevin Durant and Kyrie. If they had Spencer Dinwiddie, Jared Allen, and what's his name?
They'd be right where they were at. They're right now.
They'd be a better team. They'd be young. They'd be defensively stronger.
They'd be a better team because they'd be defensively stronger and be younger. That's why they'd be.
Yes, and you had a team that went to the playoffs. You could have added 2 superstars to it, which they did, and you would have been fine. But because, Kyrie was a flake, they felt they needed to bring in Harden, and that was it. And I said it would never work back when they did it. And then I hate to be right, but I am.
They lost to the Lakers and gave up 153 points to the Kings.
Mm-hmm.
They're bad.
Yeah, but keep Durant and try to shed some of the
Nope, get rid of him. Bye-bye.
Get rid of him. What are you going to get for him? Nothing.
Who cares? A bag of balls and somebody.
He's a bag of balls and
bag of balls and a second-round pick. Thank you. We'll take it.
I'll give you the entire starting Knicks lineup for him.
Just put him out there by himself.
I'm not joking.
With a couple of defenders.
Who's starting on the Knicks? Who is that indispensable on that Knicks roster?
Right now, Jalen Brunson. I mean, he's not indispensable in the big picture, but now on that team, he is.
You could find another Jalen Brunson pretty easily. For the amount of money you paid Jalen Brunson, you could find a better Jalen Brunson.
Mm-hmm. Derrick Rose?
Derrick Rose barely plays anymore.
Obi Toppin.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, for the first time in many years,
the best of the bunch.
I think so, actually.
He's fucking
okay,
horrible.
Here we go. Sorry.
For the first time in many years, I am not at the yearly Knicks Nuggets game here in Denver. I have instead chosen to do this bullshit. But in my making me feel a little better is that Nikola Jokic is out tonight for health and safety protocols. So.
There you go. Well, that's good. To answer your question, who's the best star right now on the Knicks? That's got to be RJ Barrett.
Well, it's still Julius Randle. But what my point being is that
close, but I may agree with you. But it's close. It's
none of them are collectively as good as Kevin Durant. Randle's still averaging 20 and 9.
Yeah, I guess.
So I mean, it's he's still a pretty decent player.
He seems to have a little better attitude this year.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think he's ever had a horrible attitude. Yeah. I mean, again, we're comparing it to the greater NBA.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But, I mean, look, Toppin's actually having a pretty good year. His points per game is up. He's in double digits at 10. But he's not good.
Yeah.
Fournier's a flop. Quickly has not turned anything. The trade for Cam Reddish, he's a mediocre player who's, a 5th, 6th, 7th guy off the bench.
So let me ask you guys this: how do you think Tibbs makes it through the end of the season?
Yeah, because nobody else wants this.
Where are they going?
Yeah, that's my question. Yeah. Nobody on the bench that you want to give the interim to and see if he's got the goods.
No. So
get rid of him at the end of the season. Bring in Patrick Ewing.
No, well, look how great he's doing with Georgetown. Pretty miserable.
Yeah.
Bring in Jeff.
Oh, by the
Saturday.
way, it was
you'll bring Van Gundy back.
Bring in Jeff Saturday.
It was Saturday.
Cicero North Syracuse.
Cicero
North
Syracuse. Yeah, Cicero. Cicero. Cicero.
Yes,
I've been to Cicero
by the Northport Tigers.
I've been to Cicero.
But by the way,
nice little town.
By the way, as bad as your Nets are, the Knicks have one more win.
The Knicks do have one more win than the Nets. Yeah,
one.
But I think, record-wise, yes. But I think I don't know.
All right,
the Knicks might be fundamentally a better team.
It's questionable.
I mean,
at least for maybe a couple. Look, I hope the Knicks get it together, and like I said,
the Knicks have a greater depth of better than average players, but the Nets have Kevin Durant.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. And as far as hockey, what? I'm sorry. Did I cut you off?
Go ahead.
As far as hockey goes, we pretty much said everything before in Are They For Real? We really needed to say about hockey.
No more hockey. We're good for another month and a half.
We're good for another hockey, right? Exactly.
I think we're good till May.
I think so. Yeah, we'll talk about it come playoffs, right? Exactly. Then we can talk about the Winter Classic when we get there, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, all right. Anything else, or what do you think? What do you think, guys?
I got nothing.
All right. On that note, we will wrap the show up for today. We want to thank everybody for watching, and for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thanks for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.getonwiththepodcast.com. That's getonwiththepodcast.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for the Get On With It podcast. And of course, all the shows are available on YouTube as well, on the Logger Room channel. Remember, we go live with video podcasts on both Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday night around 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcasts, and iHeartRadio as well. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Watch a lot of football this weekend. Check out what's going on in the NHL and the NBA. But we'll talk to you next week. Our pre-Thanksgiving fun show next Wednesday night, and we will see you then, folks. Take care. Cheers.
By the way, Deshaun Watson back at practice with the Browns.
Yeah, another week, and he's
eligible to start Week 13 against the Texans. Of course.
He's working some of the knots out right now.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't do much at practice, but then he heads straight for the massage table at the end.
That's right.
Exactly.
The Cleveland massage envies have his picture up in every location.
Well, look. As far as the whole Deshaun Watson story in Cleveland this year goes, I hope for him it's a happy ending.
Finally,
I knew that was coming.
All right, all right.
But
somebody had to say.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun Watson.